said it's such a given that she loved me for my drive. It wasn't all about the bread, I had to elevate the mind. Don't go looking in my past and then get scared of what you'll find. I'm still a work in progress, you know I'm changing over time. Still pray for long life and all my killies them to shine. But if I die tonight, I promise you these raps gon' stay alive.
So brother, big episode, man. Big episode today. Big 4 agreements book on the table. One little book about, how many pages? About 100 or something?
I think it's about 120.
It's changed man's life, innit? How many times you read it?
I've read it twice now. I ain't capping, yeah. There's one book I didn't expect to change my life, but it did.
See, that's the best thing about it, though.
And I've never heard of it.
I have. That's the thing. I had heard about it. Someone had told me about it like last year. Said, yo, you need to read this book. It's about 4 simple agreements. And honestly, if you implement them into your life will change. And I said, yeah, like, sounds sick and that. Just never thought nothing of it. And then, like I say, it was like a month ago now, in London, just walking through, just randomly just gone to the bookstore like I normally would. Look, seen that book, and something just said, yo, buy that book today, innit? Like, just buy it. And I had like a bit of a long tube journey, so I thought, let me just start reading it on there, see what I got. Bro, hooked. From first chapter, I was hooked, involved. I was like, yo. And then by the end of that day, the book's finished. I finished that book in a day. I'm like, how can these 4 things be so simple? And if I implement them, my life's literally going to change, bro. So from that second I finished, I was like, yo, first off, I'm going to buy you and my mum a copy because you two need to read this rapid. And then second of, yo, like, let me start actually implementing these 4 things into my life now, because when I do, I know everything's going to be better, innit?
I think the format as well, how the book is, it's like, it's not long, and it's like, there's not
easy to read.
Yeah, it's very easy to read.
Yeah, not short line. Like it flows well as well, so it's good. Like, honestly, the book is life changing. Honestly, I'd recommend that book to anyone. Like
100%.
Whether you have to read it, whether you have to listen, if you lock into that book and read it or listen to it, bro, and start implementing them 4 agreements into your life, crazy.
It's so simple. Crazy. So simple.
Run us through them anyway in order. Have you got the order in you right now?
I think I've got the order already. Yeah.
Go on.
Be impeccable with your word.
Yeah.
Don't take it personally.
Yeah.
Don't make assumptions.
Yeah.
And always try your best.
That's it, innit, man? Nah, let's just run. I reckon we'll go like into it and like how we see each one as well. Innit?
Yeah.
I guess we'll see it different as well. But the first one, don't be be impeccable with your word. The first agreement is, bro, it's basically saying that speak goodness, innit? Like, speak positivity out. Don't use your word to gossip or talk shit about other people, basically. Don't waste that energy, because essentially all you're doing when you're doing that is whatever bad you're saying about someone else, you're actually just bringing that back to yourself, bro.
100%.
So you're not actually speaking bad about anyone but yourself. So, yo, speak good, innit? Speak what you want to see in your life. Speak what you want to make your reality. Speak only positivity, bro. Like, be impeccable with your word. Don't get twisted. Like, it's hard, because even I catch myself now, like, not gossiping, but like saying something maybe on a negative, but the fact that I catch myself doing it, and I quickly just change it around, like, yo, let's speak properly.
Yeah, I think from my experience of reading it, like, we've all said something to someone that's hurt them without awareness, without any intention. But I feel like after reading that, like, I generally am like very careful with how I say things, because at the end of the day, like, what you could say to someone could affect them like in a worse way without knowing as well. Like, and it's not nice, innit? You don't know what someone's going through at the time. Like, they could be having like a bad day, and then you'll just say something passively, and then it could have a knock-on effect. You know what I mean? So I think we're all human, and it's easy to say things without meaning it. But having read that part, and obviously I've read the book twice now, I generally have like become a lot more aware with what I think just in life, personal, business, like, sometimes you say things without meaning, and it can have a knock-on effect 100%. But yeah, like you say, you got to be careful. But again, we're all human. We all have emotions. We all say things out of anger and spite sometimes. But if you are more aware about that first amendment, then you're gonna have a better life, essentially.
I think the biggest one that I took from that first chapter is self-talk out of everything, because like, there's sometimes like you could ask me how I'm doing, I'll say I'm not doing too good. I ain't even say that to no one. Like, I'm feeling great, I'm feeling like really amazing. Like, even when I'm not, like, I want to speak positive, bro. I don't want to I can't speak bad. Like, I don't want to speak bad. Like, I want to be literally, as it says, impeccable with my word. And like, when I say I'm going to do something as well, what I got from that, you just do it, like it's gonna get done. So like when I'm saying it, it's done, innit? And that's how I think it's gotta be, bro. And I think it is very powerful, and it was a good seeing that as the first chapter. And I'm just thinking back on like times in my life when I've not spoke the best, or I've said something to someone, I'm thinking,
same.
I only knew that then, but it all came at the right time.
So 100%.
It all aligned of like when I was supposed to learn that lesson.
I think when you have time to reflect back and look at things, you can't dwell on what's done in the past. But as long as you learn from the mistakes you've made, one being impeccable with your word, then you're only going to grow and evolve anyway.
Yeah.
So,
bro, second agreement now. I think,
yes,
bro.
Yeah.
Literally, and why the second agreement? So don't take anything personally. So essentially, that one's saying that you have no control of others. Like you don't know what they're thinking, what they're saying. You don't like when someone says something to you. It's a projection of them, not you.
100%.
So certain times, if you don't take anything personally, bro, it's not going to affect you. It's not going to have any power over you. Because there's a lot of things that some people have said to me, and I'm like, yo, what the hell? Like, what have I done? Or how, like, and then me getting angry after that about what they said. But, yo, once I've read that agreement, I thought, yo, don't even take it personally, because that's got nothing to do with me. It's got everything to do with them and what they're thinking and what they're going through in their head. So, like, literally stop. Like, bro, how many times in the last couple of weeks have I, like, you rang me or I've rang you?
Yeah, both been.
And then, like, we've said something about a situation that's happened. You're like, yo, don't take it personally, bro. And then just had to remind each other constantly about the second agreement. And then once you say it, it's like, oh, yeah.
I think it's crazy how, obviously, they all interlink. But obviously, if you stand back from being a bit impeccable with your word, that's from you saying it to someone else. But when someone else says it to you, and then you link it back to don't take it personally, like you said, sometimes people say things without meaning, without awareness, and it is just a reflection of how they're feeling on the inside as well. Like people, you don't know the day they've had or what they're going through. They would just say things out of spite, and it can hurt. You know, we're all human at the end of the day. We all have feelings, but it is like you say, you just have to generally go back and just think, okay, they might have said that because they're obviously going through this or doing that, and that's one thing that I've taken away from that book as well. It's like literally. There's been plenty of times, even like say for example, like someone's rude to you in the shop, like so you're getting served like this, I don't know, waiter or waitress is rude. You think they're having rude, but in fact they've just had a really bad day. Do you know what I mean?
Just don't take it personally.
Just don't take it personally.
Like, it's so simple to say, but like you know, if you actually, when you actually follow through with that and actually live like that and not take anything personally, like it feels so much better. It's like a whole weight's lifted. Like someone said something great, like someone's cut you off, great, like just don't take it personally, because it's literally got nothing to do with you. Like just focus on you and being better and
100%,
doing your best, which we'll get to. But and that's why it's so good. Like, you know, when you get to the end of the book and you see how all four agreements link up together and how using them all together will actually help you change and like better your life. It's so sick, bro.
It's true. Like I say, you can only focus on what you can control. You can't control anyone else's emotions, how they speak to you, how they act towards you. You can only control how you react to that situation, and again, whether you take it personally or not. So I think it's easy to say than do it. Obviously, it takes time.
It does.
It's a snowball effect.
It's like you're reprogramming your subconscious.
100%.
Reprogramming like your paradigm essentially as well. But the fact, even like you were saying, you're aware of it now. So like because there's going to be times you slip up. I'm going to slip up. Everyone's going to slip up. But the fact that we've got the awareness of the book and what it teaches, and then you just remind yourself of the agreement as it fits, then bro, I think you're good, and then you just keep getting better and better and better, and then soon it'll just be second nature, bro. Them four agreements will just be living by that.
I mean, it's natural. There's going to be a time where someone might cause you offence, like serious offence.
You take something personally.
And you will, and it's natural. It's natural for the human to react angrily sometimes. You can't control every emotion, although you can kind of remind yourself constantly about the book. Something's just going to hit red, you know what I mean?
Yeah, but so, I feel like that awareness though is going to be the thing that helps.
100%.
Over time, it just easier and easier.
It's so important to be aware in life, like before you say anything, before you react, because someone could say something and then you've got to then be aware of how you're going to react, because if you react in a really bad way, it's only going to have a knock-on effect on the whole situation. Do you know what I mean?
Literally. Agreement number 3, don't make assumptions.
Yes.
Bro. This one, this is what I mean. They're all good. They're all sick, like, but they all interlink. So, like, essentially, bro, you could say even with the don't take it personally, it links well with that, because like you could like tell me to fuck off and like be switching at me and go mad at me, and I might just assume you're actually a dick, like you're an idiot, bro. Like what the like, but I'm not clocking that. Yo, you could have had a really, but like you say, you could have had a really bad day. Something might have just happened. You might have just got some bad news.
Yeah.
That's why you feel like you're acting like that or whatever. Like, you can't assume, bro. Like, it's basically in that chapter. It's saying like, ask questions, innit? Be certain about things. Like, if you're open and honest with what you want, like your truest intentions, and you openly say that, like, that cuts off the fact that you have to make assumptions, because you're asking the questions you want answers to, innit? So like, you can't assume, bro, because you could be so wrong as well. Like, there's times where I've assumed this, the worst, the bad, in all situations. I'm thinking like, that could be so completely off, and I've got like no proof of what I'm thinking in my head, but it's just me assuming. It's not good, because then I get in my own head and I get angry, and I'm like, bro, don't assume. You don't know. If you got a question to ask the question. And like, I feel like, yeah, man, just don't assume.
I think, to be honest with you, if there's one agreement, amendment, whatever you want to call it, is that I've actually tried to adapt to, is probably this one. It's probably been the hardest for me. Naturally, I'm kind of like more of an overthinker, and I go off energy. So I look into people's energy, I read them through that, even if it's through text. I make the assumption. Do you know what I mean? Like, I don't know. It's easier done for me. Like, I always look into things like a lot more than I should, which is why like the making the assumption thing has been more of a challenging one for me, I'd say. But it's one of them things, isn't it? Like, it's practicing it over and over again.
How do you keep it in check though? Like, when you initially catch yourself like making assumptions, what is like your thought process after that?
I always just think back at the book, to be fair. Like, because I have recently made assumptions quite a lot, and I feel like I can do that quite easily in business as well, because you can. Because like I say, I go off energy, and I go off a vibe, and if someone's not reciprocating my energy back, then I'll make the assumption that they're not interested or whatever. They don't want to do a deal with me, or they don't want to work with me, blah blah.
But really, it could be something. Completely
off. Yeah. So it's one of them, really, isn't it? It's a good one to trying to master. But that, if there's one thing that I've struggled with, it's probably that one. Just naturally being an overthinker.
Yeah, I think. Do you know what's good about like the agreements as well? Because like, since I've read it as well, I feel like I've been telling people, like people closest to me as well, like about these 4 agreements. I'm like, yo, it's like changed my life, you know. And like, you can actually, you're gonna live better if you like buy them. But then I love it when I slip up, and then someone says to me, like, even like you, like, yo, remember the 3rd agreement, or remember the 2nd agreement. And it's like that accountability. That's why I feel like you should get all your boys to read it, and all your like mates to read it, and like be on it, because then like you can hold each other accountable and like better each other in it as well, and like help the growth. And bro, I think it's sick. Like, everyone should read a book in it, basically. It's like such a honestly, I'd actually give it away like to people to read it. It's that sick.
It is life changing. But like you say, it is important to have someone who you know, who's close to you, who has also read it as well. Because life gets in the way, man, and in reality, nothing ever goes to plan in life. You have to adapt. You have to overcome the situations that you never thought would happen. But you know, just reverting back to this book is like giving me a lot more clarity with myself in my life at the minute as well. So
man, I'll let you kick off the last agreement, man.
Last agreement: always try your best.
Always try your best in all situations. And I think the good thing about that is, because even when I first read that, literally just that word at the chapter name, always do your best, I'm like, the initial thing that came to my head is like, bro, how can you always do your best? Like, you're not always going to be able to do that. But the book doesn't. It says it in a way where it makes sense. So when you're like, right now, man, feel really good, like really energized, doing a podcast, feel really great. So like, my best is going to be, like I mentioned on the first episode, it could be like 100% now, but tomorrow, like, I might not be feeling as good as I am today, but it could be 75%, but I'm going to do my best in that situation. And like, every day's best is going to look different. Your best is always going to change, but as long as you're trying to do your best and doing what you can do on that particular day, particular time, then bro, you're going to go far, innit? And like, I think just always try your best, innit? That's all you can do, essentially. You can only try your best to do your best and be the best version of you at that particular time, and then just keep going, like daily, just doing that.
I think we're all guilty of like self-sabotaging ourselves, and like you say, it goes back to the first one of being impeccable with your word, like how you self-talk to yourself and stuff like that. But if you always try your best in every situation, no matter what it could be, you're going to feel a lot better overall, aren't you? Because in anything, like knowing you've gave it your all, even when you're not feeling 100, you know, you can go back and hold your head up high. You get me?
100%, man. And then I think now, like, going through all of them, so be impeccable with your word. Don't take anything personally.
But you forgot then.
Yeah, nearly. Don't make assumptions, and then always try your best. Like, and then when I got to that stage of the book where I finished that, and it gives you like a bit of an ending as well. But like, I was just thinking in my head, like, yo, these 4 simple things, and if I just go live by these, like, everything's just better. And literally, ever since I've read it, like, that's all I've been trying, like, to live by these 4 things. And I just feel like everything has just worked out. Everything's aligned for me. Everything's just literally elevated in my life, and there's so much way further to go. I got so much more to achieve. Way, like, bro, the dreams and like things in my head right now is up there, and we'll get there. But like, this is the way, innit? Like, just keep chipping, and just follow them, and I think I'll be blessed. You know, like anyone as well who follows it, like, they're gonna be good. And I just feel like, yo, bro, I'm just blessed that something told me to pick that up that day, and then now everything is how it is.
Yeah, for real. No, I'm grateful you got me on the book as well, bro.
All you gotta do now.
Because honestly,
share it about with everyone.
If there's one thing that I needed to read during the past few months, it was this book. Like, I generally feel like, I don't know, I feel more locked in, essentially, like that I can apply it to my everyday life. Business.
As we're recording this, it's the 1st of October tomorrow. Yeah.
Yeah.
The official beginning of the winter arc, innit, bro? So just lock in it. Winter arc.
That's it.
No, you just got to lock in
the trenches.
Bro. In the trenches now.
But, like, final thing, from reading this book, what would you say is the biggest thing you've taken away from it?
Say the agreements, innit? Like, just actually having something to go back to when I feel like I'm slipping up, like, in terms of them 4 things, because they're so simple.
Yeah.
And I just think they're just stuck in my head now. So like I say, I will slip up at times. Like, I do catch myself taking stuff to heart sometimes. Like, when someone said something to me, like, yo, like all that. But then I'm quite quick to think back to the book and like, oh, don't take anything personally. You get me? And then then it's just sweet. And then when I start thinking back to them, when I feel myself like slipping up or not doing my best, then I quickly get back in check, and it just keeps me in line. I think, like, it just keeps me focused and going forward, and like gives me a sense of that I'm always progressing, like, even if it's just like 1% every day, even if it's just a little every day, but I'm always progressing in some aspect, bro. So I think just the whole thing, really, just keeping the 4 agreements, and just the fact that I've been able to keep reminding myself of them. And like I say, I've got good people around me that have read the book now, like yourself, and then like other people that I've suggested it to, and they remind me of the agreement sometimes when they see me maybe slipping up a little bit, and I just think that's what's the best thing that's come out of it, bro. Yeah. What about yourself? What would you say?
I think the biggest thing I've taken away from it is probably focus on what you can control in your own life. You're not responsible for anyone's actions that they take towards you, their emotions, and literally focus on everything that you can actually control. There's no point dwelling on the past. There's no point focusing that's something so far out your reach. If you like take each day as it comes, improve yourself every day, and just work on yourself, as cliche as it sounds, and then implement these 4 little agreements into your life.
You'll be right if you just.
You'll be alright. You'll be alright.
Blessed, man.
You'll be alright.
That's it, man. But yo, before we finish off, and I've just got some beautiful pain bags on the table. It's a new brand. Yeah, man, this is one of the t-shirts now that I've got on. But yeah, man, definitely check it out on Instagram, Beautiful Pain Clo, at Beautiful Pain Clo. And then yeah, of course, we got to shout out our sponsor, Art Cave. For you, you've got the privilege of seeing Mr. Art Cave sitting right here, but but yeah, man, Art Cave, specialist garment decorators, literally embroidery, printing, that's what we do best. Design work, we can do it all. Everything happens in the cave, man. But yeah, you'll definitely be seeing more like behind the scenes things on our page, on our TikTok, so make sure you follow that.
Yeah, and yeah, also big up our new sponsors, the Pocklington Luxury Apart Hotel in Leicester, best in the business. Make sure you check us out at the Pocklington on Instagram, TikTok, everything. #1 accommodation, short term, long term, weddings, parties. Be in touch.
They do it all. They do it all.
But as always, big up Leicester Podcast Studios for hosting us once again. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and follow to our page. Until next time, peace.
She said it's such a given that she loved me for my drive. It wasn't all about the bread, I had to elevate the mind. Don't go looking in my past and then get scared of what you'll find. I'm still a work in progress, you know I'm changing over time. Still pray for long life and all my killies them to shine. But if I die tonight, I promise you these raps gon' stay alive. It's big money when we